ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायक चारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. The mystical meanings I have given to you before, and we continue with the study of the Ramayana. This is in the Balakanda, Doha number 15. But just prior to the 15th Doha, there are some verses that I need to begin with. Here the topic is an introductory expression of inspiration prior to writing the Ramayana. Tulsidas finds his mind filled with inspiration. Just like during the rainy season, clouds gather filled with moisture. And what follows? Rim-jim, rim-jim. Gentle shower. What follows next? The peacocks, with their feathers spread, they dance. All that's allegorical. Consider your mind as a peacock. And the inspiring level is your unconscious. When you have charged your unconscious with devotion by reciting the name of Rama, by meditating on Rama, by developing love for Rama, then that cloud is gathering, and your mind goes on spreading its wings and turns, instead of being just a frog or a crow, it becomes the peacock with dazzling feathers and begins to dance. Keeping that in view, all this is poetic and allegorical. Bhaniti mori siva kripa vibhati, sasi samaj mili manahu surati, jehi kathahi saneha sameta, kahi hai suni hai samujhi sapcheta, hoi hai Ram charana anuragi, kalimal rahit sumangal bhagi. This poem of mine, by the grace of Shiva, will shine in such a way, just like the full moon night shines, moon along with the stars, and they become the source of great joy in the full moon night. So all the stories are like different stars, and Rama focused details, that's the moon. So all the stars continue to twinkle, and Rama continue to blossom, shine, shower nectar. You must realize that Ramayana is a poetic work, and therefore its interpretation is also going to be poetic. All those people who would listen to these stories of Ramayana, jehi kathahi saneha sameta, kahi hai suri hai samujhi sacheta. Listen to this story And then, kahi hahi, share what you have listened to. Tell others. And in so doing, samuji sacheta, while listening, try to understand deeper and deeper aspects of Rama and try to be alert. Something joyous you are trying to express. There should be no sloth or laziness or yawning in your style. It should be vibrant, joyous, forthright. So, kahi hahi, suni hahi, samuji sacheta. Look at the beauty of writing. Those who speak of these Ramayana, those who listen to the Ramayana, understand, delve in the realm of understanding. That realm of understanding is much bigger than any garden or any entertaining spot. So try to go on growing with understanding. Sacheta, and stay completely alert. Awake. Wake up, arise. As a result of this, Hoyi hahi Ram Charan Anuragi. You will develop anurag, devotion, to Lord Rama's feet. All these words have profound meaning. Bhakti is described as anurag. Rag term means attachment. And there is a big difference. In worldly objects, you find joy, but not from profound point of view. You are led by illusion. Whether illusion or not, you begin to develop attachment to objects. What's the result? You hold those objects, store them. You have stored so many of the things you love. The increasing raga becomes the basis of increasing worry and anxiety. How to protect them. So therefore, your love for the objects that you are trying to store diminishes. So your act of love is followed by a form of stress. But divine love is totally different. The act of love for God just brings to you in the beginning a little drop of joy. Now your mind wants to have more drops. Anurag, you want more and more and more. Like a bee that has tasted honey. Now it pursues it. And there is no limit for it. Sa paranurakti riti ishware. Bhakti yoga, bhakti is defined. Paranurakti, mind's transcendental love, supreme love for God. Love that is followed by love. Joy that is followed by joy. Sweetness that is followed by sweetness. That's the definition of anurag. And that type of devotion has to develop towards God. It's known as bhakti. Word is another word, anurakti. The type of devotion that makes you feel that you are digging into more and more of honey hive without the bees. Hoyi hahi Ram Charan Anuragi. So you develop anurag, the type of devotion I have just described towards the feet of Rama. Feet, again, the term is allegorical. God is everywhere. But when you turn to any object with devotion, you begin to see the feet of the Lord, implying just like you are very devoted to a person and want to follow the person. Your eyes are always set on his feet, how his feet are moving. And you go on following the person by keeping constantly your focus on the feet. So, you see a bud blossom, and I'm just giving an illustration. You have seen the feet of the Lord. Try to understand what has brought about the blossoming. What grace, what divine hand has been operating. And if you follow the feet, you realize the same hand has fashioned all nature. Same hand has fashioned the ocean, the mountains, the rivers, the sun, the moon, the stars. That hand has fashioned your psychophysical personality, including even your nails and bones, as well as all subtle details of the body, mind, intellect. So, you are following the feet of Rama until you realize the entire universe is Rama. His feet are everywhere. And you are Rama, essentially. If you are Ram Charan Anuragi, if you are devoted to the feet of Lord Rama, Kalimal Rahit, your mind will enjoy Nirmal state. Malas are gross impurities. Kama, Krodha, Kama is perverted desires. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Moha, delusion. Mada, conceit, pride. Matsarya, jealousy. These are the highlights of malas. If you have any other names, they are all included in these 6. There are 3 sets of evil. Malas, then turn to another set of evils based on your vasanas, subtle desires. There is another set of evil based upon your unconscious. There are 3 sets of 6. You must understand where I'm leading you to. 666. The Christian world, satanic people, Satan. If you want to recognize if he is real Satan, just turn to the head. You'll see the mark, 666. People take it literally, but this is the subtle point that's promoted in religions. You become characterized by 6. And that is called Kalimal. You are soaked in the impurity, the mud of Kali Yuga, when you are trapped by these malas, gross impurities. But if you are Ramacharan Anuragi, you become like lotus. In the world of Pank, you emerge like a lotus, Pankaj. Kalimal Rahit. All these gross impurities of Kali, they are demoniac impurities. They are out. Sumangala Bhagi. A mind, as it gets rid of gross impurities, It begins to shine with Shubhavasana, shine with purity, shine with emergence of divine virtues. And when divine virtues begin to shine through your mind, virtues such as ahimsa, humility, purity of mind, absence of anger and hate, patience, perseverance, and all these virtues are described as Davi Sampat. When Davi Sampat emerges in your mind, what you face is not a world that generally people faces with ominous situations. Every morning you tremble simply because a crow came burst against your head. What a bad omen. Contrary-wise, if you have Rama Anurag, love of God, then every situation is ominous in a positive way. It foretells something sublime to come. Sagun. Two words are used, Apsagun or just Sagun. Apsagun is negative type of omens. Just simple Sagun is positive omens. So if you have Anurag, divine love in your heart, that will create in your personality a constant movement towards good happening. Good, gooder, goodest. Take it literally. But all this saying is so easy. You need to have a lot of patience, lot of satsanga, lot of japa, lot of integral yoga practice in order to enjoy it, make it real for yourself. And that also your success is progressive. You don't have complete success in a day or two. You have success to a certain degree. And then that inspires you, you go on practicing, and success may come a week later if you sustain it. And then you move from success to greater success automatically if you are sincerely involved in your sadhana. So just this statement, Kalimal Rahit, Sumangal Bhagi, Ramacharan Anuragi, let mind become devoted to Lord Rama's feet. As a result, let the mind enjoy nirmal state, being free from impurities. And as a result, let every day that come to you open up a new blossom of auspiciousness, goodness, pranava, something new and thrilling. The very Om itself is known as pranava. Nava is now, new. And things remain the same. One carries a load of boredom. And that's the predicament of the masses. Terrible boredom sits on the head, knowingly or unknowingly. But when you move into devotion, move into real yoga, adopt a real Godward movement, then you face every step that you move, there is something novel, something new, something uplifting. It is just like you are moving towards the sun. And every movement, no matter whatever may be your speed of movement, is putting you into a higher level until you have entered the sun itself. सपने हु साँचे हु मोहि पर जौ हर गोरी पसाऊ तौ फुर हो जो कहें सब भाषा भनिति प्रभाव. If Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati are pleased with me, and then he puts in a few twists in the word, even in my dream, suppose they are not really pleased, but in dream they appear pleased. Then this poetry of mine will gain all that power and glory that I have described. May all the beneficial qualities that I have described become true. Now he turns his attention to certain highlights of the story of Ramayana. Bandau avadhapuri ati pavani, sarju sari kali kalusha nasavani, pranavam pura nara nari bahori, mamata jinha par prabhuhina thori. And he is also guiding you as you enter into the study of Ramayana. First you will be led to Avadhpuri. And in that, from there the story starts. There is King Dasharatha, his 3 queens. And there are 4 sons, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. Put yourself in that setting. And there flows the Sarju river, the river that symbolizes a blend of devotion and wisdom, and is remover of impurities, which we have been describing. Put yourself in that. Pranavo pura nara nari bahori. And you are not seeing Rama yet, but we are looking at the people, men and women, how they feel joyous. Because with Rama's incarnation, that's how the story begins. The entire city began to celebrate Rama's incarnation. Joy, and this is this exercise of feeling and divine sentiment. These all Nar Nari Bahuri, all the different types of men and women, I adore them. Mamata jinha par prabhuhina thori. Rama's love for them is boundless, not ordinary love. The implication is any close conjunction with God is not an ordinary development. So poets, saints, when they describe Rama's story, they describe people, inhabitants of Ayodhya, with such spiritual flavor that they have been all saints and sages, not ordinary souls who came to be in Rama's association. And that point applies everywhere at every time. Any good association you come to enjoy is because of good karmas. And you create in your minds all this is a setting, how to enjoy Ramayana. You will not just sit down and say, oh, read through this, quick. Come to this state where Rama was born. Then turn to story of Kaikeyi. and see what happens. That type of study is not real Ramayana. Real Ramayana is got into the deep depth. Just like you have been given very delicious and nutritious food. Now your project is not to gulp it down into your mouth, throwing it partly in your mouth, partly in the nose. And scattering it out. Become immersed in enjoying the sweetness of Rama's story. And begin to grow with Rama. So you are now by the Saryu river. You see all the people, their faces are shining with joy. 4 great deities have come to exist. Their very sight is not just ordinary, a lovely child you have seen. It's something most delightful. It cuts into the process of your birth and death. It's not an ordinary development. And I adore all those men and women of Ayodhya because Rama's love for them was boundless, and it is not an easy development. Siya nindaka agha ogha nasaye, loka vishoka binai basaye, bandam kausalyas risi prachi, kirati jasu chadal jagas machi. And Tulsidas ji is just taking different spots from the Ramayana, touching here, touching. Now he touches the end of Ramayana. In the same Ayodhya Puri, there were washermen, family of washermen, who began to gossip against Sita. The gossip was Sita accepted her, knowing that Ravana had taken Sita and polluted Sita, which was not true. But then the washermen continued to have that type of idea that Rama should not have done that. Otherwise, Rama is most wonderful. In Valmiki Ramayana, Rama listens to even that type of talk against Sita. And he cures it by banishing Sita into the forest. That's hard to digest. Because Sita is Viveka Buddhi, intuitive intellect. Intuitive intellect gives you enlightenment. Once you are enlightened, even that presence of intuitive intellect is a defect in the washing process of nature. It's called avidya lesh. A trace of ignorance still exists as long as you are alive. And when that trace of ignorance is removed, Valmiki handles that point in that way. Tulsidas ji simply accepts Valmiki's and improves upon it. Even those people who had done such terrible act of complaining against Sita, Rama led them to his own abode. Behold his greatness. I offer adorations to Kausalya Devi, Rama's mother, who is like the eastern direction from where the sun rises, because it is her son, Rama, who ensues from Kausalya and illumines the three worlds. Pragateu jahar sargupati sasicharu, Vishwa sukhad kal kabalatu saru, Dasharatha Rao sahita sabarani, Sukrit sumangal murati mani, Karau pranam karama manabani, Karahu kripa sute sevak jani, Jinahi virachi bada bhaya vidhata, Mahima avadhi Rama pitu mata. That Ayodhya, where Kausalya shone like the sun, giving rise to Rama. And the Rama is also compared to the beautiful full moon. The full moon that allows lotuses to blossom. Virtuous qualities hidden in human beings are like lotuses. And the full moon of Rama allows those lotuses to blossom. But the negative qualities in you, what's known as Asuri Sampat, anger, hate, greed, they are like lotuses that are beaten up by frost. I adore the king, King Dasharatha, who is the embodiment of goodness, embodiment of virtue and divine sublimity. I offer adorations to him by mind, speech, and action, by thought, word, and deed. Always, that's his whole statement. When you do anything spiritual, it must engross three levels. Mind, your thoughts must become involved in it. Speech, and your actions. Man, vachan, karma. And when you are involved in these three levels, then your offering adoration to God is profound. A devotee meeting a saintly person, he quickly says, I'm offering adorations to you by mind, speech, and action. No harm done. But it's an affirmation for what you ideally should work for. King Dasharatha, Brahma, having created King Dasharatha, gained praise. He became really commendable. This statement will not be easy to understand. People who go into the stories of Brahma, but the main point is Brahma's creation relates to pravritti. Soul is given all karmic situations from life to life until you find the spirit of Dasharatha entering in your personality. That means, in the storyline, King Dasharatha every now and then was invited to Swarga, heavenly world. Whenever Indra had trouble with demons, he had Dasharatha come to him and assist him in destroying demons. Simple point to understand. If good karmas you are doing for gaining Daivi Sampat and removing Asuri Sampat, gaining virtuous qualities and negating all the negative qualities. When good karmas open the door to that movement, when karma becomes karma yoga, your personality has risen to Dasharatha level. And since Brahma promoted that, glory to that Brahma. Same Brahma who has promoted, goes on promoting karma after karma. He has also permitted good karmas that suddenly will suck you up from the world of limitation. This point will be brought out again and again. The simple point is there, you always say, do good karmas. But you have two ways to go. If your good karmas have not promoted bhakti to God, but ego inflation, how good am I? Then you are acting like Vibhishana under the influence of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. But when good karma begins to promote love for God, karma so good that you don't want to do karma anymore, or bring about the destruction of karma. If that stage has been reached, Brahma has allowed that up to that stage. That's his role of creation. And it is that aspect that makes Brahma really adorable. So, it is that commendable act of Brahma that he created Rama Pitu Mata. He created Dasharatha and Mother Kaushalya, who brought forth Rama. Bandam avadh bhual satya prema jahi Rama pad vichurat deen dayal priyatanu trina iva parihareu. I offer adorations to King Dasharatha, whose love for Rama was so profound that the moment he was separated from Rama, he abandoned his body just like a straw. Many implications. First simple implication of it, in all your actions, if love of God is not involved, if it is completely, love of God is out, all your actions are useless. King Dasharatha loved Rama to such an extent that when Rama was sent to forest by Kaikeyi's plot, all the details will be coming in Ramayana later. But the main point is being shown that Dasharatha had built up his personality with such intense devotion that the moment he was separated from Rama, he quit his body. But Dasharatha level of soul is a commendable level of soul, but that's not the absolute state. Soul is being presented in Ramayana in two levels. Soul as Dasharatha. But Dasharatha level of soul, just like in Mahabharata, soul as Pandu, and then as Arjuna. I'm not going to take you there. But that's the style of mystic stories. So Dasharatha begins the early stage of sadhana that every aspirant must be involved in. Deals with three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. And through the three gunas of nature, the soul creates four aspects, four purposes of life. Here in the case of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna, they are symbolic of, Rama is symbolic of absolute wisdom. Bharata is symbolic of absolute devotion. Lakshmana is a symbol of absolute meditation. And Rama is wisdom absolute. So wisdom, meditation, devotion, Shatrughna is of action. So all four yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, They are all born as Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna in your life. But once they are born, the jiva status undergoes a great transformation. So the early status of the jiva is Dasharatha. That Dasharatha departs. Now, the most enduring aspect of jiva is Rama himself. So your focus is not on Dasharatha's story. Dasharatha's story has given you a backing, a basis of Rama movement. It's shown how the world of pravritti has to be faced by good karmas. Go on always assisting the divine within you. But at the same time, develop a profound devotion that draws a movement in your heart, a movement that is not going after karma, but going after liberation. So Dasharatha and Kaushalya, they give rise to Rama. And Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, they are all in that family. Another great point. Bichurat Deen Dayal, Priyatanu Trina Iva Parihareu. Love for God should be so profound that the idea, may I go on living, should have no fascination for the mind. All the idea of on living, taking the same tea, enjoying the same seasons, and all highs and lows, go on living. If there is a kind of a choice to be made, enlightenment on one side, and holding on to the body without purpose. Purposeless holding on to the body and its longevity, that's just a straw. Dasharatha consciousness has come to recognize it. And he demonstrates it. The moment Rama departs, he departs, he abandons his body as if it is just a straw, and moves on into celestial realm. From there he goes on inspiring Rama, until there is a meeting with Rama in the end of the Ramayana. With this, I'm going to conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.